What's going on YouTube? We're back here today with another fantasy basketball mock draft. Today we're doing a 12-team points league with the 10th overall pick. Before we get into the video, please do leave a like, comment, subscribe, especially if this video helped you out. So Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Embiid, Tatum, KD, LeBron, LaMelo, and James Harden make up the first round so far. We actually have a couple of options here. Karl Anthony Towns is still available. Could be in line for a big year next to Rudy Gobert. The rebounding numbers might take a little bit of a hit, and the blocks because he may be forced to play a little bit more outside, but the three-pointers could go up a lot, especially playing next to Edwards, D'Lo. They deserve a lot of respect on offense as well, so Cat could be in line for a great offensive year. Would love to pair him up with someone like AD in the second round if he's available, but there's a slew of point guards in the late first round that all make great options. Stephen Curry, Trae Young, Lillard, Ja, Tyrese is very solid in the early second round. So a lot of options at the later portion of the first round. I'm going to go with Cat and hopefully can build around either AD, Sabonis, or maybe even a solid point guard on the way back. So there goes Ja, Trae, Tyrese, and Stephen Curry. So Lillard is still here. I didn't actually expect him to be here. I would think Tyrese would still be available, and AD is still here. So Lillard's projected 46 fantasy points, AD about 48. However, the injuries are a thing. If you're confident in AD not missing any games or not missing a whole lot of time, AD is probably the selection here. Lillard did have a pretty big injury last year, missed most of the season. So I think I'm going to go AD. Just locking in a power forward center early is such a great deal. Sabonis, Siakam, Kyrie, Deep Book, all really good options in the early second round, but I'm going to go AD. There goes Bradley Beal, Lillard, D-Book, Zion Williamson, Anthony Edwards, Kyrie, Siakam, Sabonis, DeRozan, Paul George, Vucevic, Cade Cunningham, Donovan Mitchell, Bam, Rudy Gobert, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Kawhi Leonard, and Fred VanVleet. I kind of feel like Kawhi is one of the guys a lot of people keep forgetting about. He has fallen down into the third round a little bit just because of his injury history, but he seems pretty healthy so far into the season, so he's a pretty solid pickup. We could match up AD and Cat with someone like DeJounte Murray, Jimmy Butler, Fox, Garland, really get a nice guard or forward in Butler's case to really round up our lineup. They're all projected to average about 41, 42 fantasy points a game. Other options that I'm seeing, Evan Mobley, DeAndre Ayton, Jaylen Brown, Porzingis also a very solid option. I think I'm going to go the guard route though. DeJounte Murray, as great of a season he had last year, I do expect a big dip in production next to Trae Young. His assist numbers may stay the same just because Trae Young might play more off ball, but the points and rebounds, I do see a big decline in that factor. So I'm a little bit more hesitant to draft him, at least this early. Same thing with Garland. Having a huge usage player like Donovan Mitchell on the team is directly going to impact someone like Garland who needs the ball in his hands. Obviously Garland can play without the ball, but I just think it's a big impact for Garland. Probably more beneficial for Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen to have someone like Donovan Mitchell on the team, at least fantasy-wise. So I do think Garland takes a little bit of a hit. I do believe these numbers are pretty good projections for him. The three-pointers might go up, the efficiency might go up, but the assists could take a hit and the points could take a little bit of a hit here. Now, choosing between Jimmy Butler and De'Aaron Fox is tough, though. I love Jimmy Butler as a player. I think he's one of the best players in the league. Really good defensively, offensively in the playoffs. Jimmy Butler is just something else. But De'Aaron Fox also played amazing after Tyrese got traded last year next to Sabonis. There were games that I think for a stretch he was averaging like 30 points a game. So Fox really did amazing after the trade. And I'm thinking that he might still have that momentum going into the season. And I'm going to go De'Aaron Fox. There goes DeJounte, Garland, Jaylen Brown, and Jimmy Butler. Now, we still do have a couple of options. We could keep going big with Randall, Mobley, Porzingis, all great options here. Jrue Holiday is another great guard option. Chris Paul is a great guard option. He does tend to miss some time throughout the year. And since we already do have someone like AD, who's very injury prone, I'm kind of tempted to go away from Chris Paul and Porzingis. I don't want to take too much risk early on. With that being the case, I'm leaning toward Randall or Mobley. Randall had a little bit of a down year. I think his all-NBA numbers are like his peak. It's going to be really hard for Randall to get back up there, especially with Jalen Brunson now on the team, RJ Barrett on the team. But I think this is a very solid projection for him. I think it's about time the Knicks kind of move on to RJ Barrett as their star And Randall really needs to buy in as a secondary scorer, playmaker, and just build more of a team offense along with the Knicks. I do think the Knicks could surprise people. I don't expect them to be a playoff team just yet, but as the Knicks grow a little bit more and RJ and Jalen Brunson develop, I do think they could be a solid team moving forward. Mobley is just amazing defensively, playing next to Garland, Jared Allen, and now Donovan Mitchell. It should really open up a lot of opportunities for Mobley. Amazing efficiency, really good defensively with the blocks and steals. Kind of a dark horse candidate for Depoy. The points should take a little bit of increase, the rebounds as well. I do think it's a tough choice between Randall and Mobley. I think I'm going to go Randall though, just because he's most likely going to be 1 or 2 on the team. Worst case scenario, number 3. And Mobley has a lot of competition with Garland, with Mitchell, with Allen. Meanwhile, in the front court, Julius Randle doesn't see that much competition. I guess Obi Toppin's having a good preseason. He could take some minutes away from Randle. Randle is also another player that could get traded, which would open up, I think, would open up more opportunities for him if he gets traded somewhere like Phoenix. I can't really think of any other team where he makes sense. Maybe Charlotte. That would definitely open up a lot of opportunities for him. So let's go Randle here. There goes Ingram, Scotty Barnes, Porzingis, Christian Wood, Evan Mobley, Chris Paul, Jalen Brunson, Westbrook, Drew Holiday, Zach LaVine, Clint Capella, DeAndre Ayton, Jared Allen, Terry Rozier, Jamal Murray, Jakob Poeltl, CJ McCollum, and Chris Middleton. Looking at our roster, so we have a couple of forwards and centers now. The guards are lacking, but as you've seen in previous drafts, a lot of the guards kind of stay in the middle round. So I think I'm going to target a lot of big players here. A couple of options we have here. Sengun, projected to be the starting center for the Rockets this year next to Jabari Smith. Did really good in his time as a starting center last year when Wood was out. Great assist numbers from a center. Pretty good in the steals department and the blocks department, which we love to see. Decent scorer, playing next to Jalen Green and KPJ. Also now Jabari Smith. He could get a lot of open shots this year. He's a very good, well-rounded center. I think he's an amazing pick here. Ben Simmons, as usual, is a solid pick here. 39 fantasy points projected, playing next to Kyrie, KD. The assist numbers could be astronomical for him, and the defense is always there with Ben Simmons. A couple of other options, at least from the power forward center category. Miles Turner projected about 34 fantasy points a game. Valanciunas projected also about 34. If we scroll down a little bit, there's Paolo Banchero, the rookie, also projected about 34. I do think Sengun might be the pick here. I think Valanciunas' numbers might take a little bit of dip with Zion coming back, the rebounds, the points. Meanwhile, Sengun is thrusted into the huge starting center role in Houston and could really smash these numbers even. Sengun, Keldon Johnson, Colin Sexton, they're like 3 of my favorite picks for most improved this year, just because I think they're going to put up amazing numbers. So let's go Sengun here. There goes Valanciunas, Banchero, Miles Turner, and John Collins. So we could still draft another big. There's Nurkic here, projected about 33. RJ Barrett is also here, but we do have Randall, so let's avoid RJ for now. Wendell Carter's here, Keldon Johnson, but Keldon Johnson usually kind of falls a little bit, which I think is very silly. He's going to be the main guy in San Antonio. I expect him to put up numbers. But it's really kind of hard to pass up on Ben Simmons right here. 38, 39 fantasy points projected. The points, the rebounds, assists, steals, blocks. Really gives you everything but 3-pointers. And not so great from the free throw line, but you can live with that because he won't be shooting as much as you would think. Another alternative for Ben Simmons is Josh Giddey. I love these two this year. I'm looking to get one, if not both of them, in every draft. Just so versatile. Really does a little bit of everything. But I'm going to go Ben Simmons. I think he has a little bit more upside in the assist category, playing next to Kyrie and KD. There goes Tobias Harris, Nurkic, Jaren Jackson, Pokusevski, Giddey, Keldon Johnson, Bobby Portis, Michael Porter Jr., Brendan Clark, Wendell Carter, Colin Sexton, Draymond Green, Robert Williams, PJ Washington, Rashawn Holmes, who should not even be getting drafted at this point, Ivica Zubac as well, Jalen Duren as well, Mitchell Robinson. You could make an argument for, at least. Moving on, I see Desmond Bane here, D'Angelo Russell here, great options. RJ still here, Kuzma down here, Steven Adams, great selections. I think Desmond Bane or D'Lo might be the pick here. We do have Cat, so maybe let's not grab D'Lo. I think we might stray toward Desmond Bane for that reason. Amazing shooter, 3 threes last year, I think. Let's take a look. Yeah, 3 threes a game, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists last year, 1.2 steals. And I see him growing even more this year. They project him at 19. I could see him getting closer to 20 points a game. Him and Dylan Brooks are like perfect complements next to John Morant. And then they have Jaren Jackson Jr. or Brandon Clark at the forward spots. I think Desmond Bane is in line for a great year. He's definitely the number 2 option, in my opinions, on that team. Some people can argue Jaren Jackson Jr., but I think it's Desmond Bane. So let's go with Desmond. There goes Wiggins, Steven Adams, Jalen Smith, and Chris Boucher. RJ's still here. I hate how he falls so much in these drafts. They're suggesting Andre Drummond, which I can't get behind, at least not this early. Looking at our roster, we do have some guard play now. Still don't have any small forwards on our team, so that's something we could target right now. RJ's still here, perfectly slides into that small forward slot. I think we're going to draft him. I think RJ is a player that really deserves to go way before the 8th round. I think 21 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. The steals and blocks numbers obviously leave a little bit to be desired. Could be a better 3-point shooter this year as well. Efficiency hasn't always been that great, but RJ is a solid player. And having Randall and RJ, I know I have 2 of the 3 best Knicks players day in and day out. So I'm okay drafting RJ here. Another option for me would probably be OG Anunoby over here. Average 17 points a game, 5 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 2.4 threes, and 1.5 steals. The steals and threes really boost up OG's points per game. So he's a solid pick. I do think it's too hard to pass up on RJ here at the small forward position. So let's grab RJ. There goes Walker Kessler, another really solid pick. Andre Drummond, who shouldn't be going this early. Kelly Olynyk, Isaiah Stewart, Al Horford, Marvin Bagley, Buddy Hield, Malcolm Brogdon, Montrezl Harrell, Klay Thompson, Jeremy Grant, James Wiseman, Onyeka Okongwu, Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, Nick Claxton, Mo Bamba, and Brooke Lopez. So we have a lot of options here. D'Lo is still here. Could look to stack D'Lo and Cat together. Jalen Green is still here. Expect him to have a huge year fantasy-wise. I think the points per game numbers are going to go up crazy. I'm not drafting Plumlee or Isaiah Jackson this early. Tyrese Maxey, Tyler Herro, also great options. So is Saddiq Bey and Kevin Porter. There's a lot of guards. Oh, Jordan Poole's also here, who just got his new contract extension today. Wiggins as well. So there's a lot of options here later on with the guards. We do have 3 guards so far on our team, being Fox, Bane, and Ben Simmons. Could look to get more point guard, shooting guard help where D'Lo, Jalen Green only plays shooting guard. Tyrese Maxey, Tyler Herro really could help. But I also do want to get some small forward, power forward depth. Seeing that we have a pick not too far from each other, I think I'm going to stack up D'Lo. The 36 points per game is too hard to ignore right here. Let's grab D'Lo. And on the swing back, we could stack up another guard in Tyrese Maxey or Tyler Herro, or maybe get another forward in Saddiq Bey. Let's go D'Lo for now, though. There goes Kuminga, McGee, Saddiq Bey went, and Kevin Love. So ideally, OG's still here, so that's another solid pick. Let's see what other forwards are available. Devin Vassell is here, probably will be a big part of the San Antonio offense. Franz Wagner, who I also love this year. Last year averaged 15 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, about a steal, about a 3, good shooting. And I think he's in line for a big year. Balled out in the EuroLeague. I think he could have a great season next to OG, especially with Suggs and Cole Anthony taking another step this year. So Franz Wagner is definitely a guy I have my eyes on. But OG is probably the better option as of right now. Only plays small forward, so that sucks a little bit. But we have so many power forwards that I'm not really worried about that. Randall can play power forward. AD, okay, I guess it's just 2. But we could get a couple small forward, power forwards later on, like a Franz Wagner, like a Robert Covington, or a Lauri Markkanen. So let's go OG, and then maybe we'll try to pick up someone like Lauri Franz on the swing back. There goes Mason Plumlee, Keegan Murray, Tyler Herro, LeVert, Isaiah Jackson, Thomas Bryant. There goes Lauri, Thad Young, Devin Vassell, Tyrese Maxey, Kyle Lowry, Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Jordan Poole, Marcus Smart, Jabari Smith, and we miss out on Franz and Spencer Dinwiddie as well. Looking at our team, we do have a couple of small forwards. I think just RJ really, and a couple of power forwards, AD and Randall. So I'd really like to get a small forward, power forward. We do have a good amount of guards. We have 2 point guards and 2 point guard shooting guards, I guess, in Bane, Russell. But really no backup small forward, power forward. I wish OG could play power forward, but it easily drafted him. Keegan Murray's not bad. I am going to miss out on Herro, Green, Tyrese Maxey, Jordan Poole, Kevin Porter Jr. this time around. But I think I'm going to take a step down to Franz Wagner, who I really like. Last year, 15 points, 4.5 rebounds, 3 assists, about a steal, about a 3. Balled out in the EuroLeague, playing next to Paolo Banchero, Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs taking another step. I think Franz Wagner's in line for a great year, so let's draft Franz. There goes Mason Plumlee, Keegan Murray, Tyler Harrow, LeVert, Isaiah Jackson, OG, Laurie, Thad Young, Devin Vassell, Tyrese Maxey, Lowry, Kevin Porter, Jalen Green, Jordan Poole, Marcus Smart, Jabari Smith Jr., Spencer Dinwiddie, and Kemba Walker, who should not be going this early. But now we have a couple of options. I see Anthony Simons here, projected 30 fantasy points a game, almost 20 points a game, starting next to Lillard. Really good get here, especially since he can play point guard and shooting guard. Trey Jones is solid, being starting point guard in San Antonio, I'm assuming. Other great options here, Mikal Bridges, probably the starting small forward, power forward for the Suns this year. Dylan Brooks is a solid get too. However, we do have Bane, so let's not get too many Memphis players. We did stack D'Lo already, as well as who else did we stack? RJ and Randall. So yeah, I think Anthony Simons is a solid pick here. Gordon Hayward, again, with the injury issues, I wouldn't want to draft him so early. Maybe in the 12th, 13th round, where I wouldn't mind losing out on the pick if Gordon Hayward does get injured. But I'm going Anthony Simons here. The upside is just too real with him. There goes Josh Hart, Trey Jones, Monte Morris, and Jalen Suggs. Bridges is still available for us. I think way too hard to pass him or Gary Trent up. They're very solid players. Bridges does play small forward. Gary Trent plays only shooting guard. Who else is available? Brooks, Gordon, Kelly Oubre. No one really jumping out to me other than Bridges and Gary Trent. Gary Trent, amazing in the steals department, in the threes department. Gets you a good amount of points. Not really much of anything else. A couple of rebounds. Meanwhile, Bridges is just amazing defensively. Great efficiency. Doesn't really score too much. Gets great defensive stats. Half a block, 1.2 steals as well. About the same assists between Trent and Bridges, but not as many, more rebounds than Trent, but not as many points. I think Gary Trent is probably the better pick. I feel like Bridges, if he is the starting power forward, he could really put up a lot of numbers. Let's take a look at our team. What do we need really though? We have one small forward, two small forwards really. And in terms of shooting guards, we have one shooting guard, 2, 3. Okay, so I think we're going to go Mikal Bridges. We're really lacking in the forward department. Maybe Gary Trent will be available next time around. Highly doubt it, though. But let's go Mikal. There goes Norman Powell, Gary Trent, Dylan Brooks, Conley, Cole Anthony, Ivy, John Wall, Derek White, Kelly Oubre, Harrison Barnes, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Gordon Hayward, Will Barton, Jordan Clarkson, Evan Fournier, Jared Vanderbilt, Herb Jones, and Dennis Schroeder. Grabbing Gordon Hayward with the last pick, I think, is a really solid option, especially when you have players like Luka, Siakam, Cade, Ayton, Brunson. Like, you could really hold up if Gordon Hayward doesn't get injured. And if he does get injured, you only lost your 13th pick. So, pretty solid get with the 13th pick. But going back to us, now we have a couple of options. We could grab Dort here, place shooting guard, small forward. Really a great position of need for us. We could grab Aaron Gordon. I do think playing next to Michael Porter, Jokic, Jamal Murray, he could be in line for great efficiency, but the points, numbers, and rebounds could take a little bit of a dip. Chris Duarte is another solid pick here. Jayshawn Tate, Bogdanovic playing for Detroit now. It still says Utah here. Could grab Robert Covington, jack of all trades guys. Lugens Dort's a solid pick. So is Darius Baisley, especially with Chet Holmgren being out. He's the projected starting power forward. I'll probably go Aaron Gordon. How many power forwards do we have? AD, Franz, and there's one more. Randall. So yeah, let's go Aaron Gordon. Gives us another power forward just in case they're all out of for the day. So let's grab Aaron Gordon. There goes Malik Beasley and Jayshawn Tate. Got an A on this draft. Fox, Bane, Ben Simmons, RJ Barrett, AD, Randall, Cat, Sengun, D'Lo, Franz Wagner, Anthony Simons, Mikal Bridges, and Aaron Gordon. Really solid draft here. Grabbing someone like RJ Barrett so late in the draft, even if we have to stack him with Randall, is a great get. Someone like D'Lo's, who's constantly falling. Getting sleepers I like Franz Wagner, Anthony Simons, who I don't think is a sleeper anymore. Everybody knows he's going to do good. Desmond Bane, who I expect to take another step. Mikal Bridges, who could take a step offensively in Phoenix as well. And Ben Simmons returning to basketball finally. I expect him to have an amazing year. Definitely don't expect him to be an all-star or anything, but even getting 15, 16 points even, which is probably a little bit higher end. I think realistically he could average like 14, 7, 7 easily. Could push for 16, 8, 8. And if he can get 16.88, I think Ben Simmons is such a great pick this year. And really matching up someone like Cat with AD, who does have an injury history, we're taking that little bit of a risk here. I really think that risk is kind of worth it, just because if AD does play a lot of games, doesn't miss too much, doesn't have a severe injury, he is such a good fantasy player. He was going like top 3 in fantasy not too long ago, and for good reason. So very happy with the draft. Let me know down below if you guys would pick anyone differently, if you guys think I reached for anyone. Who else do you think I should have went for? Who else should be on my radar? Let me know down below. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.